Hello, and welcome to Songwriters Spotlight, the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative Series. I'm Dr. Dan, your host of the show, where we feature Western Mass songwriters who perform their original songs and talk about the art of songwriting. Stay tuned to explore more about music and the tunesmithing that creates it. On this show, we'll feature Scott Cadwallader, a songwriter and performer at open mics in the Valley and longtime host of the Yellow Sofa Open Mic on Thursday nights at the Thirsty Mind in South Hadley.
Thinking on a cold gray morning how the sands of time just slip away. Good old friends I knew so well have moved along to another place to play. The lady finally had her little baby. Now she'll juggle work and home, raise her daughter till she's grown and gone. Till she's gone. In the gallery all the portraits hang in silence, row by row. And I look behind their painted eyes and wonder, what did they know? Souls flicker past the window, once breathing flesh and blood, showed monuments that stood to mark their time. To mark their time. I take your time and live your precious moments. The ones you love, don't let them drift away, or you feel the chill of a cold gray morning and watch the time slip away. Just slip away. High tides and rolling waters rush in, wipe the footprints away. The sun and moon and the stars won't preserve in plastic jars, they're doomed to fade. What little time we have waits for no one. Everything is rushing by, can't hold still, can't be serene, won't be serene. I take your time and live your precious moments. The ones you love, don't let them drift away, or you feel the chill of a cold gray morning and watch the time just slip away. The world will turn and you'll slip away. Called Loan You My Gun. It's using the same tuning. Just a little different. You live the life of an outlaw, a rat on the run, it is true. No time to take a shower, stop and smell the flowers, you gotta move. Well, you can take my Chevy pickup, but fill her up with gas when you're through. let you eat at my table. I even loaned you my gun. The law is right behind you. I know you must run. Well, you can take my Chevy pickup, but fill her up with gas when you're done. You call me on the phone, you always make me groan with I should help you, help, 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 help. Well, I've had it up to here. To make this very clear, just my pickup truck is gonna have to do. Well, you can head down south Louisiana and stop on by Baton Rouge. Say hi to Lily Baker, steal a kiss if you choose. Well, you can take my Chevy pickup, but fill her up with gas when you're through. You call me on the phone, you always make me groan with I should help you, help, 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 help. Well, I've had it up to here. To make this very clear, just my pickup truck is gonna have to do. You hear? Will you live the life of an outlaw, a rat on the run, it is true. No time to take a shower, to stop and smell the flowers, you gotta move. Well, you can take my Chevy pickup, but fill her up with gas when you're through. Said you can take my Chevy pickup, but fill her up with gas when you're through. One more time. Take my Chevy pickup, but fill her up with gas when you're done.
Your song about "Loan Me My Gun," is that about someone or some category of person, or is it just the words and feelings that got expressed as you were writing that?
I'm not sure of exactly where that came from. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I want to write something that, you know, it says something about pickup trucks or whatever. And, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Loan you my gun, that was a phrase that sort of, I think I was writing things down, and loan you my gun was one of them, and it was the pickup truck. And so how do you, you know, what is the scenario that fits together with that fits the tune?
I let you eat at my table. I even loaned you my gun. The law is right behind you. I know you must run. Well, you can take my Chevy pickup, but fill her up with gas when you're done.
So, you know, I'm not, sometimes it's a while back now, so it's trying to remember, you know, what exactly the spark was. But it's just, yeah, that loan you my gun was the phrase, and that's where, you know, everything else sort of spread off from that. You know, well, if you're loaning my gun, you're probably an outlaw, or you're probably, you know, and you're coming around and you're asking me to help you out, you know, the law's coming and all that. So, well, here, you can use my pickup truck, but make sure you fill it up with gas when you're done, you know. So, you know, it just sort of evolved.
A little different. Lazarus and the boys cobblestones from the street, broken windows, feel the heat. Cries in the darkness, righteous tempers flare, the sad and weary can only weep. Where the story spreads like wildfire, all the lines are drawn, the war's begun. Stark new day is dawning, blood and sorrow with the rising sun. If you love your sons and daughters, teach them not to hate. Dissing on your brothers won't win the pearly gates. Only do to others what you would have them do unto you. Oppression by the numbers breeds troubles by the score. The consequence you can't ignore. Everywhere you look, the downtrodden will arise. They will rebel, it's no surprise. Story spreads like wildfire, all the lines are drawn, the war's begun. Stark new day is dawning, blood and sorrow with the rising sun. If you love your sons and daughters, teach them not to hate. Dissing on your brothers won't win the pearly gates. Only do to others what you would have them do unto you. Sadist in us all must remain and check the strange disease that will infect. There's so much to gain from a little bit of love. Our better nature, it does reflect. Let the story spread like wildfire, erase all the lines, let peace begin. New day will dawn, a new tomorrow with the rising sun. If you love your sons and daughters, teach them not to hate. Dissing on your brothers won't win the pearly gates. Only do to others what you would have them do unto you. If you love your sons and daughters, teach them not to hate. Dissing on your brothers won't win the pearly gates. Only do to others what you would have them do unto
Yeah, I guess cobblestone is somewhat topical. Is that the case?
Definitely.
Stark new day is dawning, blood and sorrow with the rising sun. If you love your sons and daughters, teach them not to hate. Dissing on your brothers won't win the pearly gates. Only do to others what you would have them do unto you.
I think it, now I'm sort of forgetting, but I think it had to do with some Me Too movement kind of stuff that was happening at the time. Sort of that feeling.
And then you generalize from that to a larger sort of lesson in life
scenario. Yeah.
Yeah.
Closing my eyes to shut out the rainbow. This feeling inside is only so. Since you've been gone, well, I can't feel the wind blow. Nothing feels the same, just a whole lot of pain. Popcorn and peanuts, brain freeze, stuck in rut. How you gonna fix it if you don't even try? Put on a Band-Aid, make sure your bed's made. Step out in the world, let's give it a try. If I open my eyes, I might see the rainbow. This feeling inside is seeding the love flow. You were so near, I can see your skin glow. Well, everything is changing in my liberated brain. Ice cream and moonbeam, unicorn, sweet dream. Love's a special feeling, and that feeling is divine. Hold hands and touch lips, dreamy eye, sweet kiss. I'm gonna hold you close to me till the end of time. Ba-ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba-da, bam-ba-dam-ba-da-ba, ba-da-bam-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba-ba, bam-ba-dam-ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. If I open my eyes, I might see the rainbow. This feeling inside is seeding the love flow. You were so near, I can see your skin glow. Well, everything is changing in my liberated brain. Ice cream and moonbeam, unicorn, sweet dream. Love's a special feeling, and that feeling is divine. Hold hands and touch lips, dreamy eyes, sweet kiss. Gonna hold you close to me till the end of time. I'm gonna hold you close to me till the end of time. This is called Look Ahead to Where I've Been. I look out ahead as far as the eye can see. there, learning only by the journey where you've been. In dark and dusty corners, I've spent some time in fear, dreading every moment yet to come. The ghost I feared to see came nowhere near to me, disappearing from the journey where I've been. And there is no crystal ball, and no matter how the tea leaves may fall, there's no way to prepare until you're finally there, learning only by the journey where you've been. Embrace all the moments that are good in your life, so to embrace all that are bad. Spend them together with a little mix and match, the most extraordinary life you've ever had. And there is no crystal ball, and no matter how the tea leaves may fall, there's no way to prepare until you're finally there, learning only by the journey where you've been. I look out ahead as far as the eye can see, looking to find the limits to my years. I've embarked on this life, but I've never known where to, learning only by the journey where I've been.
Some wonderful music, Scott. That was really very enjoyable, and I got the sense that your music is well crafted. It didn't just like roll off the assembly line. You did a little tweaking here and there between the music and the lyrics. Is that the case?
Well, I don't know. I never really thought about that part of it. I just, I think I kind of have a system for it, so maybe that all falls together that way. But
well, what's your system?
Basically, what happens is I'll sit and noodle around on my guitar with some chord patterns, and that will, and I'll try fitting some kind of a tune to it. Make something up to go with the chords. And if something gels, then I'll sort of go with that and play around with it for a while, and then eventually I'll start. Well, I'll look to see what kind of a mood does it suggest. What's the feel of it, and then I start thinking about lyrics that will sort of go to that, and sometimes it pops right out, and other times it's like you gotta nudge it. And sometimes I have to sit down and make a list of words. A lot of times is what I'll do, and then try to fit them all together in something. Other times there's a definite idea that's behind it, and so that generally tends to flow a little easier.
I got a sense of a lot of wordplay. Like you say, you made a list of words, and then you figured out ways that they could fit together that would be not necessarily predictable. A lot of your lyrics are like, whoa, how did you put that together? But they do. They fit very nicely.
I don't set out to consciously think about well, sometimes, yeah, there's a little, where something plays off of something else, and that's kind of cool when you can do it. What I find is that if you, with the idea, what I love about the language is that it's malleable, so that you have something that you want to get across, and you have a specific way because it's dictated by the tune, and this is how it goes, and you can fiddle around, try this word, try that word, the ones that all mean the same, but there's a bunch of different ways that you can get it to come together to fit into the song the way you want it to, and that part of it I kind of really enjoy, is sort of making the pieces fit. It's like a puzzle that you can put together.
I noticed too, a couple reflecting on your mortality. Is that fair to say?
Sure. Well, I mean, that's part of looking at life, and the last one I did there, the look ahead to where I've been, which is a little twisty. The title of that is interesting, but I like the concept of that, where it was you can't really tell where you're going until you've been there, basically, and that was pretty much it.
Well, that raises a question that I was thinking about. So, could you have written these songs about mortality when you were 30?
I've heard people in their 20s writing about their mortality and that kind of thing, and it strikes me that my position here, in the timeline is a little bit different, and so it's I don't know, it sort of strikes me as a little bit laughable when somebody that much younger is talking about where I've been and how hard all this has been and whatnot, and I'm going, okay, but if it's a good song, I'll like it. But
yeah, I mean, there are some notable songs that by very young people that have incredible insights.
And so I don't.
Mortality.
It's not it's not a. I'm not dissing anybody out there. I just find it sort of interesting. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You're in that same song. You talk about the most extraordinary life you've ever had. So.
Well, I like the idea of well, the way life is you have good stuff happens and bad stuff happens, and if you, when you're looking at it, if you accept the good stuff, accept the bad stuff, and you blend it all together, and ta-da, it's the most extraordinary life you've ever had,
Yeah, I was quite captured by that notion. And so, looking back, you have more perspective than the average 30-year-old.
Probably. A little bit. Although it's interesting, way back when I was a lot younger, I was figured that I was gonna probably wind up drinking myself to death and by the time I was 30, so burn out, be gone, and so fortunately that never happened.
It's happened to enough people, sure.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that was, I think I was inspired by, a number of current musicians who were, burned out or and.
So, is songwriting fun for you?
Songwriting is fun for me, especially. Well, yes, definitely. It's a little hard to get it going sometimes, or sometimes it just, if the noodling on the guitar, and if you get something that says, okay, this is really good, then yeah, then you want to find the lyrics for it, and then you want to press forward and make it happen. So I don't think I've ever experienced a situation where it's like really tough and it's a grind and it's, you know, so yeah, it's very enjoyable, basically.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you're saying that the guitar talks to you in a sense, that you're playing the chords or the changes and so on, and you hear words. Is that
I don't hear words. I just hear it's all about the guitar is kind of an emotional extension, so it's more about creating a mood, a feeling, that kind of thing. Because you know, music generates feelings, generates. You can be happy, and it's kind of like an extension. It's like I'm feeling blue, so I play, you know, sad songs. Or I'm feeling pretty happy, you know, pretty chipper, and so things pop out that are kind of peppy and whatever. And so whatever I happen to be, you know, if I'm fooling around with it and it's coming out, you know, happy-go-lucky, whatever, then, you know, that's something that I can capture there, and then find lyrics that will go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, it's enjoyable, and it's a release too. It's
mm-hmm.
like.
So it helps you explore emotions. Is that a way to describe that?
Yeah, well, I don't know that I'm actually exploring emotions. I think it's just you feeling them, and so, and if you can capture some of that, then that's kind of more what it is.
You have a lot of songs on YouTube. You've invested a lot of time in recording and posting them up on YouTube. How many do you have?
Well, I think there's something on the order of 140-ish.
Wow.
And a few of them are not mine. I mean, some are covers.
Right.
And there's one up there that's from Krista Joy that I put up.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's some of them that I go back to and I really still enjoy, and some of them they're there. You know,
mm-hmm.
I did them and I may come back and try to fiddle around with them some more, but I use YouTube as kind of a at this point an archive, so that, you know, I've got the tune and I've got the lyrics up there, so that should I forget the song or not, you know, be really rusty at it, then I have a record of being able to go back and look at it again and relearn it if I need to. So they're there, you know, mm-hmm. I did them, and I may come back and try to fiddle around with them some more, but I use YouTube as kind of a at this point an archive, so that, you know, I've got the tune and I've got the lyrics up there, so that should I forget the song or not, you know, be really rusty at it, then I have a record of being able to go back and look at it again and relearn it if I need to. So, and I had to do that a number of times. So.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's an interesting approach to YouTube, but
well, at first it was all about, you know, community and sharing with other people and all that kind of stuff, and which it was, and then eventually I started doing open mics, and so that became sort of less the involvement, and mm-hmm. and the open mic stuff was, you know, real, actual physical people and interacting with them, you know, was more interesting, I guess.
Do you get songwriting inspiration from open mics?
Sure. I mean, I mostly it's like I hear people do stuff and I go, oh, geez, I wish I did one like that. So, and the wheels sort of turn in the back of my head, you know, about it's the kind of the feeling that you get from it. But I know I couldn't actually replicate it, in a way that I don't know. It just, yes, I do get inspiration, but it's more like the gung ho spirit, Let's. I want to write something too, I heard that one, so.
I think there is an advantage to hearing like 15 or 18 different performers all in one night. It just bombards you, particularly if it's a good night where everybody's on their game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the variety is great too. So.
When you think about other people writing their song, you just expressed it that there's like a spirit to it. It's not a head game. It's a spirit. Now the ideas you described very well come from words and lists, which is kind of a head game, but it's nothing without the spirit. Is that your sense?
Well, when I say spirit, it's sort of emotion is what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Because I look at it as an emotional extension. It's sort of a way to broadcast what you're feeling, basically, and sort of capture that. Yeah.
So you've studied art per se, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does that influence your writing or your musical performance?
I don't know. I think it's sort of, it's like, you have 5 senses or whatever. So it's sort of like having, these are I keep calling them extensions of me that allow me to do, various kinds of things. And it's like in visual art, there's also, for me, a kind of an emotional component to that. I mean, it's kind of, in a similar way, it's like, you're dealing with colors and shapes and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of like notes and that kind of stuff, lyrics in a song. So.
And whistling and yelling.
And doing all those kinds of things, stomping your feet. You got. I like a good foot stomper,
Yeah, sure. So when people listen to your songs, is there anything that you think they should look for, or anything you're trying to get across to them apart from what we've already described, your sense of emotions and feelings?
I don't necessarily think about other people when I'm writing the songs. I hope that it's appealing enough. I mean, I would like to, if I am singing a song and other people are singing along with it, and that says something to me, that it's a cool thing. But I don't, am I trying to project something, that other people will get? I'm not so sure, It's like, here's a song, this is kind of what it is, and hopefully there's enough, meaning that it's something that other people can understand and sort of get something from. Then that's good, I'm not, I don't know, it's like, here's a story, there you go. and I know when I listen to stuff, I get, I may not react to it the same way that the person who originated the song, intended. It's kind of like, and it's the way I look at art too. It's you get a different response from different people based on what they bring to it. So that's my thought.
It's kind of like art, yes. Okay.
Yeah. No, all I can say is, basically that I'm really glad I have music in my life, It's and I recommend it to anybody, to everybody, because it's a good way to get you through hard times and to help you celebrate the happy times. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you, Scott. Scott Cadwallader, really fine musician, performer, songwriter, thinker. So we appreciate your sharing all of that with us.
Well, thanks for building me up like that.
Thanks for watching our show. I'd like to acknowledge the support of the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative, promoting the original music scene in Western Massachusetts. If you want to learn more about the collaborative, go to their Facebook page. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Dan. I hope you'll tune in again for the show that puts a spotlight on songwriters.